Hey, what is up guys, Massive here, back to do another video, and today I've got a game versus a Panic. I've got two games actually, one where I'm going to be playing as the Reaper 17 and one where I am playing as Steel Talons. We'll start with this one. On Tournament LA, I'm going to be Steel Talons, Panic in the south. He's going to be playing as the marked of Kane. Panic, he doesn't play 1v1s often. He was a really good 1v1 player back in the day. He doesn't play really at all nowadays. I'm surprised at just how good he is considering he doesn't play. Mechanically, I've always considered him to be one of the best players. Micro-wise as well, he has had iffy decision making, but besides that, he's really on point with his speed, his APM, and I think he had real potential to be one of the best players, especially nowadays. I think he would have really been a great player if he had played more. Nonetheless though, it's nice to see him, and I always have some great games against Panic. The last of such games was on Odyssey, where I went for that Ravager build. That was the first game that I ever did the Ravager rush, and it actually turned out to be the meta for Trial 59 versus GDI for a while until I had to nerf it. I had to make the individual Ravager members deal 1000 Tiberium damage with their tip agitation ability. What do you mean by Tiberium damage, Leaf? Well, there's various different damage types. You've got cannon, grenade, sniper, gun, but Tiberium is a damage type that bypasses enemy armor. So structure armor is ignored, and you just deal that 1000 damage to the structure. Even if it's fenced, still kill the refinery. So you can actually bomb a refinery that is laser fenced with 4 Ravager squads. Anyway, I haven't been talking much about this game, but usually in the start there's not much that happens. But Panic's going for a bike rush. He went for 4 bikes. Bike rushes I feel a little bit more potent nowadays because you can sell the refinery off and get $700 from that ref sale. Because it was previously $500 in 1.02, and then the hostile negotiators said, hey, it should be $700 because the harvester was adjusted in 1.02 to be $1,600. And yeah, $1,600 divided by 2 is $800, and then the refinery cost is $3,000, and you subtract the cost of the harvester is $1,400, and then divide that by 2, because you get half of the value of the structure. When you sell it off, that becomes $700. So you have to subtract the cost of the harvest that you get and then divide that amount by 2. Anyway, weird start of this game. I never really plan what I'm going to say, but it I just say what I have in mind at the time. MRTs and Pitbulls out for me to defend against these bikes. I was a little bit frustrated because my Pitbulls fell. The bikes didn't take as much losses as I had hoped. I'm going for Mutant Marauders, which is a strategy that I always like to do on this map. The Mutant Hovel is in close proximity to my War Factory, so it makes a lot of sense doing this. The Mutant Marauders also spawn out of the hovel immediately in this patch now. They also show the Chevron rank, the GDI Chevron rank, when you have them ranked up. So that helps you determine which of the Mutant Marauders has received a rank. That's also fixed in 1.02 plus R19. Links in the video description below for that patch. It's actually a map pack. I know it's confusing, guys, but the maps include the patch changes in them. Those bikes are completely toast now with no buggy to soak the damage of those Mutant Marauders. Bikes are toast. And now Panic has to deal with these MRTs that are flying above. He doesn't know exactly just how much DPS these do, so he's going to spam a lot of anti-air units. Marauders don't do a lot of damage to vehicles. He's got a lot of raider buggies out, Panic, as you can see, lots of those out. I'm going to try and skirt them. I can micro my MRTs inside of these transports individually to avoid them going down. As you see, I split off that one that was on the low health so it can get repaired in the air. The V35 Oxes actually get repaired by the MRT's repair drone, because MRTs repair air. They also repair vehicles. Basically anything that can be repaired will be repaired, foxholes included. But these transports are microing, and behind it I'm calling in these Titans. I've got 4 Titans just to mop up these Raider buggies, and when I've seen that my opponent has overspent into anti-air, I just drop these MRTs on the ground to support my Titans. Digging in a bunch of foxholes, 3 foxholes, 4 foxholes dug in there so I can put my mutant marauders inside of those when I need to. But yeah, I just need to thin down these Scorpion tanks now, kill the Raider buggies. Raider buggies focusing down my MRTs, Titans trying to cap the War Factory. I placed mines near the War Factory's entrance just so that the Scorpion tanks that spawn get immediately damaged by those mines. Being able to destroy a number of those tanks coming out. Laser turrets for Panic. This is a bit of a panic situation for Panic. My refinery also not the best of placements. That could be vulnerable to a Catalyst missile one-click if I am not careful. Laser turrets will ultimately hold that off. And I'm just referring to my Discord talking about hammerheads, and I'm disputing with someone if hammerheads are OP or not. I think that they're in a good position now. Their range was reduced for 5%. It's not a big change. Green Zero acts like it's a massive change, but it's certainly not. It just means the bikes, the attack bikes, can't be kited by hammerheads. But yeah, these mutant marauders are going inside of the foxholes. That's why I dug them originally. I'm trying to do as much damage as I can with these gun-type units, which don't do any damage to Scorpion tanks. That mine drop did significant damage. I might be able to kill some of them with the mutants inside. They're trying to kill these. And I saw that in R18, the mutant marauders are given the AP ammo traces for some reason by CGF. I reverted that in R19. I just didn't like it, man. It should be the regular like GDI traces. I didn't like what that change was. Nonetheless, though, these mutant marauders, I lost them all. Not sure if I'm ahead or behind, but I'm going for an Orca transition because I suspect that he'll go into stealth tanks. Orcas, especially with the sensor pod, can detect and kill the stealth tanks. Sensor pods were buffed in R19. Technically, it's an undoing of a nerf because CGF nerfed sensor pods in 1.02 plus, and I thought, hey, he was never told to nerf that, yet it was nerfed. No one ever said the sensor pods were OP. A handful of players used them, not everyone. So I don't think we should be discouraging players from using an underused support power by nerfing it. It doesn't add up. That's CGF's patch philosophy. Can't say I'm ever in accordance with it. But these Titans are holding the line in the middle, and a lot of action in this game. It's been pretty non-stop since those bikes were in my base. I've got the 4 Orcas out. Also researching the upgrade, which is Hardpoints. Increases the ammo capacity of my Orcas by 50%, which is a really underused upgrade. It is $2,500, and Orcas don't have much health, so trying to get all 9 of those missiles to be fired before the Orca is destroyed is difficult. That's typically why we don't see Hardpoints that often, because Orca has to survive in that engagement a long time for it to get the value with the Hardpoints, because your opponent is probably rarely going to allow you to get off all 9 of those shots. Now, it does make more sense with Firehawks. You get 3 bombs, and that significantly changes the number of Firehawks that you need to destroy the enemy buildings. You only require 3 Firehawks to destroy a fenced refinery or tech center in R19. That number is actually 5 Firehawks without the Hardpoint, so that's a significant difference. Only needing 3 versus 5, that's a massive difference. It changes everything. Plus, power plants can be destroyed in one hit with Firehawks with Hardpoints. Stealth tanks intercepting those Orcas there, that's unfortunate. The one thing that I was using those sensor pods to counteract. I've got sensor pods on a couple of neutral buildings. I don't know if you guys have noticed earlier in this game, but I put them on the neutral structures. It just makes them harder to be removed. Even if my opponent has like a Venom, he won't be able to destroy those sensor pods. But yeah, Stealth Tank's always a thorn in the ass if you are playing as GDI factions. It's the worst for Zocom, but I would say the hurt is almost the same with both GDI and both Zocom and Steel Talons. Zocom get the Zone Raiders, which are a really nice counter to the Stealth Tanks. The Stealth Tanks don't counter those. You can just leave 1 or 2 squads in your Tiberium field and counter some Stealth Tanks. And with Steel Talons, you don't have any Zone Triples or Zone Raiders, so you got to rely on these Orcas, which are going to trade mutually with the Stealth Tanks with that tip core. As you saw, I've lost all of my Orcas. I do have Hardpoints. No tech online for me. My opponent is teched up to tier 3. He's got that expansion on the left hand side, and at this point here I was thinking, hey man, I'm in a really bad position. It's not looking good for me. I haven't really done enough damage to him, plus I can get destroyed by further Stealth Tanks. So I'm rebuilding my Orcas up, and I'm hoping that I don't get hit by a Venom transition. Venoms with the Might of Kane are very powerful. Might of Kane, I would say, is a very good faction in this patch. And here's something that I've been doing more often lately. I've been selling my MCV just for that extra cash boost. I get an engineer as well, which I can use to ferry over to my opponent's spike and capture. But that will allow me to squeeze out 1 or 2 more Orcas with that MCV sale. I don't really need an MCV because I do have a War Factory. It's not technically all in because I can just rebuild my Conyard for $3,500 if I ever need to. But I need the Orcas, and I need them now. It's all about the time. Time is of the essence, and I'm going to send them into his expansion. I see there's no AA there defenses for him. He may have had 1 or 2 Stealth Tanks. That's why I summoned in the radar scan. And I've got the engineer as well. Going to try and capture his MCV with that. Orcas going into this expansion field. I'm going to try and snipe as many harvesters as I possibly can. Checking out for Stealth Tanks while in the process of sniping these harvesters. I do kill 3 or 4 harvesters there. And do I have enough ammunition left to take out this Redeemer Engineering Facility? Most likely I do. That goes down. Those Hardpoints, incredibly useful. So I think if there's ever a game to highlight Hardpoints, this is it, guys. Orcas with Hardpoints. You can't get a better demo than this. So I keep all 8 of my Orcas alive, which is great for me, but I don't really have any tech units. I was afraid of being hit by Stealth Tanks. I summoned in the Wolverines and Pitbulls. I don't really like Wolverines. They're kind of useless without AP ammo. They don't have much health. They take directional armor. They can't shoot and move. You can't deploy mines like you can with APCs. Costs more to summon in the power. They have drawback after drawback. They don't shoot aircraft, for example. That's a big deal. These harvesters getting destroyed by those avatars, and now I'm in a bit of a disarray. There's Bike Bucky with Tip Core out. There's avatars moving into my base. This looks like a Q-move from Panic. He's got all he needs. I've only got 7 Orcas and really not a whole lot left in my base. 5 avatars, 5 Titans, which are totally out of position. And I'm actually doing a micro trick here. Instead of sending all 8 of my Orcas in to kill these Tip Core bikes, which one-shot my Orcas, I'm individually selecting one of the Orcas to kill the bikes. I'm trading 1 Orca for every one of his bikes, but I'm spinning off one of the Orcas just to kill those bikes that are streaming in. Because I know that the other Orcas have to use their ammo extremely efficiently in this fight to deal with these avatars, because it is extremely close. I kill all but 3 of the avatars with those Orcas. Orcas return to base, and the Hardpoints will barely allow me to hold off this avatar wave. Rifleman in the back there. That's how desperate times were. I've got the Wolverines that I summoned in with the Bloodhounds. No AP ammo, I believe. But those Orcas with the Hardpoints coming in clutch. I've got all 8 of them there, refueling, rearming. And they're going to be out once again for another wave of attacks. Panic only on that one harvester on the left hand side. And look how much damage that hardpoint upgrade did. It just denied the enemy Redeemer from coming out. It killed several of his harvesters, and then it allowed me to hold off against those avatars, those armored units. I was able to sink in enough damage to destroy the majority of those avatars, and I'm now using the center pods just to detect where the rest of his harvesters are. I don't recommend you guys rely on the pulse scan, which is the other ability of the Orca. I would almost always suggest getting the sensor pods upgrade, because it does cost you only $100 and the radius is substantial. Look, I can detect harvesters that are even near his refinery with that sensor pod. And I've still got half my ammunition left. Not upgraded power plants do output a ton of power, so sniping those whenever you can is always a good move. And now I'm going to go in and snipe the last of the power plants and then panic upon seeing these avatar husks getting reclaimed by me, and upon seeing this fully saturated base that I have. I've also rebuilt my AIM-CV, so that all-in that I did was just for that cash boost to get these Orcas out as quick as possible. He probably was not expecting me to rebuild Orcas, considering I lost unit after unit, Orca after Orca, but that was the key there. I was able to win that game with the Orcas, with the Hardpoints. Hardpoints, crucial upgrade in the success of the Steel Talons there. Definitely worthwhile versus Mark of Kane just in handling these stealth tanks. And Orcas are a great unit overall for harassment, and they're not as versatile as the Zogon ones are because you can kill infantry with those, but nonetheless they are good for stealth tank hunting, which is one of the main reasons why you build them. So yeah, this is going to be it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in the next one. So this is me, Master Leaf. Peace out.